obi antimi ntena Ghana mo pa mo date nto se Ghana fo nim no mo san ma John Mahama be president bi ma enima be sisi Ghana no obi antimi ntena Ghana mo pa mo date
we di nema beba o kanepa se ya kan sensu yira obi anim so kukasiem hona nipa doso hona
Afimpo ensuanto ye NPP amambonti Afimpo ensuanto ye.
Few moments later.
What are the factors you have identified that contributes to this, what we are seeing on this?
NPP amambonti Afimpo ensuanto ye NPP amambonti Afimpo ensuanto ye.
A few moments later.
What are the factors you have identified that contributes to this, what we are seeing on the screen now?
So the drainage channels are silted. The flooding in Accra is not an engineering problem. It is just a problem of indiscipline.
Wow, wokoko ephobia. Yebeba be two borehole wofonum. Wofonum fifi. Yebeba be two borehole near the Politan kesi ho. Eti no ntoa na wo the host na wo the hwehwe gu koko no so. Se na be ya ebesoro ye ama yeti.
Investigations na ekoso. Me ne uka say your cases be 7 work court. But ya investigate ya ya dia court no. Me pese court ni tie nsem na entem. And so me ntimi nkotna court ho and catch a judge say asem no wo ya che ye entem me ntimi yes sir because osha your separation of powers me na me executive omo na judiciary. And so ye ne chief justice akasa say na be ya one ne judge for no betimi ahwe na e cases no omo tie entem na se nipa ni defo a na ye be no so odi bem so a na eja no ko ni baby enti investigations na de koso I just say me no ka say be 7 cases o ma prepare be another 5 or 6 cases I just say and also be court but ye democracy nti ye work constitution we anka Rawlings abreso PNDC time and no ani say akoche omu nyina na de omatum ne aka say kire ye at the frontier obetimi aka say sa asemi enya ona oye eno ye frɛ no prove your innocence before we release you no soldier ban betimi aye and so democratic government you say you are innocent until you are proven guilty and also a constitution asem na me ko gina Black Star Square modest kind no share me sa me why say constitution no medi so enti even though me and mo munya abotre na judges no nyo modwuma
Mama ebi years and not couple of years. And now they have become a couple of years. And so, Black Star, so when the time in 2 years, I think spoke of a couple of years. So we just no any police in 1981. I don't know. Anti Ministry of Sanitation Omahwe so efie wotwene a ene nso kakra to omko jisika wo World Bank omse ombe yiyi gata numu a chese omfanye hwe no NDC ba sa sanitation ministry no yebegu no ni asan dia call local government emre bia nso beto bia yebe yiyi gata numu nyina se ne be ya nso no ba ebenya kwan na asen na nso a etayiri e wo mo junction ho no.
A few moments later.
the flooding in Accra is not an engineering problem. It is just a problem of indiscipline. Unfortunately, Nanan Misremu, our traditional rulers are selling plots in streams.
Mekas and trauma, let me use the right word, it's lies. And trauma, the meaning some or university and answer, oh, join the party now, and trauma dear, because the leaders themselves are lying. What do I say? I say about me, sometimes
I feel sad when I see some of our northern brothers running around and also doing this. They will use you and dump you. I want to live to see the day. You let anything happen today, and let our brother Bawumia say he's standing for president in NPP. They will never give it to him. I can assure you. When the misfortune hit us, and our father, Professor Mills, passed away, the Constitution said that the Vice President should take over. I did. But then we're close to an election. If it was another party, they would have insisted that there should be a Congress. And in that Congress, I would have been contested. And they would have given the leadership to somebody else. But when it happened, the NDC's National Executive Committee called a meeting and said, no, there will be no Congress. We are passing a resolution. John Mahama is the Vice President. We are going to support him to lead us into this election. And we went into the election, and God gave victory to us. And so I'm proud to be a member of the NDC, because I know it is a party that opens opportunities for all people of Ghana, irrespective of your ethnic affiliation or your religion. Civil society organizations. And so NDC can't. According to say NDC yankwa and your person. It was saying na ya kabum na ye be maya no ko ba ko ne ka kire of aban say adia wudi sema mudi ediga na fo no emre na so say mobeko. And so we who say ye beko ohini bi ho o say o ye bo abaso ejuma pa wa ye no e na de ye ko asori a ni amana koto ho o ye hira ho wo be di nkunim wa ya de pa. Ezu Oko bosom ha ne hwehwe ensa egu abosom no so e ka se wa ya de ye bosom no be di wachi na we di nkunim biom abanfo we wo be di nkunim biom 7777 Ezu na me na meka anka saa katasehye ne proya akoso ewo NPP aban mu anka ye NDC aban a anka by now soldier for etu ya aban ne fi ho me na meka no kra na meka kire mo katasehye ne proye ene ewisem ene kronobo akoso ewo Bawumia ne akofado aban mu anka ye NDC ene koso ewo NDC aban mu a anka say ye two aban negu ezu this baby kunim second Sigri the second and that's why I say there's no conflict, no chieftaincy conflict. And so peace in Bawku is going to be my priority when I become president. Anytime NDC is in government, Bawku is at peace. Unfortunately, as soon as NDC leaves government, the Bawku crisis flares up again.
It's barely 4 months since we came, we've changed government. This Bawku incident has been going on for years. And in my statement, I did say that President Mahama has been president before. And so in his time, I mean, talking about John Mahama 1, these issues were there. Now, with that benefit of experience, how do you go and say this in 2024 election? That anytime the NDC is in power, there's peace at Bawku, which is not true. When Honorable Mark Woyongo was the defense minister, did he not go to Bawku and they shot at him and he went to hide under his car? Do you want us to bring out all those videos? This was within your time as the NDC. If we're going to give the issues that happened under the NDC in Bawku and the issues that happened under the NPP in Bawku, you realize that war is war. It doesn't matter who is in power. And that is why I was saying what he said was absolutely wrong and he was politicizing the whole matter. So what do you mean? That anytime the NDC leaves, Bawku's matter escalates. When the NDC leaves, it's the NPP that comes into power. So it means that when we come into power, we come and escalate it. Is he not the first president or former president to have said this? Have you heard that from any other president? That's how the first politicization that I was talking about. The second one, you go there and then you go and say there's a chieftaincy dispute. But you go and declare for one person. What do you think the other people will do? The other side will do?
Don't you think his statement was owing to the fact that the law has determined it already?
So as a politician, you stay clear of this matter because the chieftaincy matter is not your matter. Things. Because Dr. Baumia and Mampusi was on the ticket of the NPP. He gets 0. And we've had an election and in the Mampusi area, NDC gets 0. By inference, it is the NPP who creates problem. Now the NPP is sitting at home, we are in opposition. You are in power. Solve it. And the people are angry with you because the promises you made to them to help them fight the other people, you simply cannot support them to fight the other people. Why? Are they all not Ghanaians? So as a head of the institution Ghana, as the head of the corporate entity Ghana, you would have to make sure that your two people or the two groups are at peace.
What? The mandate is for 4 years. The mandate is for 4 years. We have entered the 17th month after assuming office. All the key promises, how many of them have been achieved?
NPP Amambonti, Afimpo Ensuanto Ye. NPP Amambonti, Afimpo Ensuanto Ye.
A few moments later.
What are the factors you have identified that contributes to this, what we are seeing on this?
Se Ghana for nim no mu san ma John Mahama be president bi ma enima be sisi Ghana no obi antimi ntena Ghana.
Oh, my brother. So sorry. Can't afford. Bye-bye. Let me see that car.
Se Ghana for nim no mu san ma John Mahama be president bi ma enima be sisi Ghana no obi antimi ntena Ghana. Mo pa mo date nto. Se Ghana for nim no mu san ma John Mahama be president bi ma enima be sisi Ghana obi antimi ntena Ghana. Mo pa mo date nto. Se Ghana for nim no mu san ma John Mahama be president bi ma enima be sisi Ghana no obi antimi ntena Ghana. Mo pa mo date nto.
Kan na nsuo to a krokesim na yiri. Ene de yiri baby ne wanwa aban we di nema beba o. Kan pa se ya kan se nsuo yira obi anim so kokasiem hona nipa doso hona amanfo sisi adan e be ka se ho e choked etino we nam ha we the economic activity no credit generate na de baby say ye kwaye mo say ye kura babia ti ye ho ye nyame boy ho by there but so far so good.
Right, but why we former local government minister the question city authorities no and enyo madwuma yi ana say dia menua
a number of reasons. I made the Subon Beba buying. But the Beba buying in a sense that 7 sure 2 years dear, and yet 7 a day for fro. A idea of my your form of brain brano. Na it's say was a ye di or how a name kind. So how no or ope a no solution. It is how we are now no do no yarsa. And cry through flooding. We share na ye name be na tusni. The abandada will tremono. Or should that assemble on a platform and nim difua umuwo flood control hunim dear. People from academia everywhere. And they are trashy. You see, Kunyania try to address it. Dear Pan, the emphasis how we emphasize. And no more solution by solution there by now say I buy 2 and 1 copy sika. No be ejuma. Me sure say what project be a friend of Garrett.
Yes.
Garrett. Now say Garrett project nay all the 17 metropolitan assembly say war be a friend of Odo River Basin. Odo River Basin no fa
practically
me a do say 17 no since you free Madina say free Ebrio say free he eba ebiwie odo na kobopo no nti yekopebusia about $350 million say yenye various storm drains ye can storm drainer community so we should be our can boma so hwembia peja e wo say etimi fa amana kese a wo no wa na enyiri mfa so concert so nti namu a ekọ no na ekọ epum and na yo bibi e fe no water holding ponds water holding ponds no sensio to a na se de nam gota no ko no do so a wo sheda ma bi gina baabi nti de wo gata no na ekọ ponu etwe ko no na wonu so ekọ menua me no kasai Ghana buying over $200 million United States dollars. Abandada ni jama aben otisui. Anke yes Garrett project we. Garrett project no. So ko wager uba Accra Academy. So ko Achimota uba Paloma. Heavy areas America say hawa. Ese ya shade media sianka ye na bewe na ti ano no. Ne ni nyina agina. Atofo se be no say aban bia dwumadia na ekoso mlemisa so.
But mu Jesse come about
$200 million. In fact, the investment was about 350. In the first tranche of 150, in the second tranche 200. It goes to see America.
But what was the state of the project? NPP
now at different levels. They are within the 17 areas now.
Okay.
Metropolis within Accra. It's now different areas. Now Obakobia be site A, maybe 80%. Site B, be 50%. I have here 30%. Different stages. But you be who say the pace of work is slow, but because they shall say, it's me committee, my name is chairman. Here for works and housing minister. So you perceive no mudin come. I didn't know Sikada ho. You have 2 projects today. Na nina astole enko. Na muntumi emadwuma nkoso. And I mean it's so World Bank for no number be meeting. Some World Bank for one jiske. Enti me ranking me as ranking chairman of the committee, works and housing minister and the deputy, now World Bank group, and all the technical people of most project. You got to say works and housing ministry. Mwaya the mind say data no koso. Some of the sites we call reef for Agyapong.
And any excuse
any excuse.
And this you buying the
omukra tuone sekai na ukano mbaso nti omuntimi nkomani. And I make say me meet them on make say some anu ne kopa one way am be frɛ asoja for mo de friend say please go
yeah
etimu nya sabi bambofo nkonkopam sa afo infrio yebetu ho na mo yebetu ho na mo ene ende me no ka say we journalist kono bi so say Garrett no nanka chihye mo no I was say ye 18 water holding ponds e wa Accra various areas adan na to force nse wati so abamienu ye 18 major water holding ponds it shouldn't mean because you tell who say should free ha na eba nti edu ha ya was standard ha dodo na ekota so ti de wa amra nim na ekɔ no se ntwe ya we ma eboa ma flooding reduce papa and me no ka say finance minister say ko twam na mutie ya meye 2 pe we ye 2 na scan ya ka de bere and na nsuo yiri nti eno ye number 1 how no de wo I was see ano and ya kope solution ya pe husika but say one nyansi ano a how would the problem go enti emfa ho ne nsuo to bi ko hwade agum emfa so bi asi bibi wo waterway eno ye another side of it but the actual solution so it is solve no make us say atiada say wo hwe sa project na nka bia odo the mainstream e called amount for 2 baller plastic niam agum enti wo hye technology bia menua ade bia eso a really wo gata no ebetimi akoblock no afidie bi twetwam
okay
we know what I say fan say
plastic kesie
bia ebetwetwam ayam say entimi nkwa a e block no motimi yefri enti nyese nka wo ye gata keke ye wada technology a wo in bible a etimi manage sa na solid waste etwetwam na a reduce no in size na etimi akọ masa we nyina wo ho it is a mekase nipa fia o ye nipa do so no bi okosi da wo ba bia eno ho but the actual solution overall and the aban kopia ya bisi na ye ntimi ento asonye because aban asesa ye koya ye ho di mpa no kwa ho na ebebo no ye nkobo aban oteso ye bebo aban ya wotwam enti na ye nkoye we are not on cha ye were other projects secondary city support program 35 municipalities you say bibi the smart cities o pese o transform communities enti eno so World Bank for ya na ekoje omusika eno kwa nkro 35 no ya transforming nyama chese ehu nanka yentimi ngije to onye in real time we dey be within 6 months 1 year na aye ene aban so wotwam de bibi ba efre no soko no so okosima ba bia ohia wo pa nem bi ni say school nine clinic bridges akwanema bia eho na yenya no World Bank for Monsika in real time o kwa construct sade no in months and then all those interventions in aban so ojai enti yenti nema kobone say ye tutu ye nema yi a bigidi say with this intervention and ye ma state officers are almost so more the mandate to ensure say more enforce nema enye so kwa assemblies are of course omo challenges ho assembly be mo be permit or the permit man no obeji se bi okwa kusi dantia obekọ no wosi abonsan permit no so ka so wosi abonsan bi obetwa mo na process of perform no so e be rigorous it oba o se o mekwa kusi dantia obekọ no wosi bi abonsan 2 3 4 story say department no omo ye in charge of monitoring so mo kwa obehu se permit the man no e na o ya na nya no ye we mo nko reset no enka those areas so when tumi anko ni locality anko hwese or enforce permit or diama people do anything anyhow obeto abeji permit so mekwa kusi dan no site A obekọ no bi osi site B wa brand show ye den enam nti constant monitoring na betre obi timba so osi dan no akwakofa mason act as the foreman mason ye bibia from beginning to end it or mix it more takra the actual ratio no onim but when you are there official dom so monitoring or ha eno ebeboa and then na tie radio so abrantie bia o say okun na ntwe 32 ema Yura Mahama dia konya so what is asem na
ma hwe social media
right na all kasa no mo frɛ MC no eye Lankwantanan MC no mo kasa na brantie say mo party okun na ntwe say na ma mudi kudem na ada na mabebu no dagu the MC ni beka ni so ene emfa ye ho na me kra ye bubu dan no call be free Jubilee House by say enisi ye bubu na okawie no hu say wa ha no ho so there on the top eti the point I'm trying to make is that ye wo political interference so kroma obi ani mobi o yes e wokoso but ni nyina mo no sem run ye adwuma I don't think say a problem
right and then beba ye be pesika for a project, national project. I nim say sa insuhiri eye annual ritual say afibia an AC. And AC bia so idea to renchem November. Na sikada ho na ban bi be decide NDC abanda John Dramani Mahama be decide say yen to asa project we so. Amamfo ngu ensuo nhida amamfo dan. Why?
Menya onim say aban we say be mpem bebre no nema na ye tumi nyamra. Omo ka tumi. So say nyesa na radio station bi say wo wager regional chairman and in MC Abaru akoto to radio station. Mrs. Watia.
Yes.
I mean, omo ka tumi one camera.
About Tampa radio.
Sir ono makwan na we project na onya dimpa bi anye den emfrim. Ade bia NPP do mun sa hyase bia yenyae ma enka ho. Na ka enya won say Akufa do kofa the revolutionary approach in healthcare say yensi about 111 hospitals. For me, na me hu no say it's an attempt to do away with your problems within the health sector in terms of infrastructure for almost the next 20 years. Because sana Ghana yeti your most referral centers, Kolebu, Konfanochi and so on, uba over subscription. Say abai kase may duplicate 110 or 111. It means will reduce pressures from districts about one center. And will create jobs. And can name health minister me can't say you introduce quota system ma omumunya kwanya kusia
no
yentiso wana ne bantre fi wo 2024 wo dina kono petumi no ka be kasa asem but omuhu say nyansa no lies in completing hospitals na papa ne hyase no na yenya access to real infrastructure na yensa nya jobs for people because we see one complete district hospital where nipa na be form ho but it's say politics yenye mo bi nya ni monyamti na yenye kra sa ya re no aka almost every sector of the economy NPP are buying ebe share jumadi papa bia se oye enti it's everywhere enya dia enwanwa they will not do it. Two, anumjana na dos now the reality is caught up with them. They can't even mobilize the money to do most of those things. It is a car ujaya or the bibino. And the third one is misplaced priorities. Meaning, we are there now. Your main trunk road from Kumasi to Accra, the highway. Na Shedmuja if she go so accident because of the bad nature. Na abambi ashasi to an among one boka. Waya maka. Less than a quarter. Na we see media mean to us. But first, you can't share for frasi. You made the washer says one time cram mouth kind. He says next year we pay a share campaign. I say, more so cramp them with the masha said that. And then a few uncle NDC, I ain't channel. Mahama because and then over more predoso. And I will be a nanaka or yan in your pay. And there is not going to be any time for you to finish our expressway. Okay, but I tell you, say, ye jada dana kaka cram ye wino, ne discapudo sanko, because who be be two, or the Sakakwana when we are on the Jennifer or Con baby. It is so be we project I watch us any day, and the work any day. It's a how we are a banana creature man, and I affect ye on my move phone. But the biggest solution would be say Ubenya the BBC and so per se. One of share Nadia say, don't know me or ye, no debating that by way.
Right, quickly, 1 year local government minister, Pentia Mastatino would this and Komono, Krunkuma Mamu. Menimsa NPP are buying a tier kunyas what the drip machines buy. Say, Minim. But I am motivated here what they buy drip machines in a year juma. Bonoma will be cohone, coho ye juma. Mantam no.
Bonoma a call Ghana. So, call your road sector. Now, Kobisa Sika a buying spending at the year road reshaping of roads. Ye de caterpillar no dwukwan no so keke na yeja. E ka ye twa nyagro. Me no kase. Afiwe aban spend about 1.6 billion cedis. 1.6 billion cedis. Awodo feeder roads contracts Intika Branty Yote. Near more crata, I say, Konakujuka way. Oko high bino kujia no kon baby. Say, Ufa drip machine. Now the year Jumana Kumbima Branty contract now. Drip machine, what to fuel be about 10,000. But under the contract, no, Ubenya bear 1.2 million cedis. It's in a given district. Enka uchia operator ka uto fuel agum na why there so nyina no we are 20,000 maximum. In fact you dey drip buy no as minister me oversees a common fund at the support capital comma obia so financial say to see Ghana be here just a little over 400 million nanka dey fuel drip equipment no nationwide. And so and then for
period being
for about 6 months, the first 6 months.
Little over 400 million.
A little over 400 million nationwide. Nanka yedi a fully the entire drip. It is a whole stretch. It could be a 1 whole year. We have about 800 million. I don't know. A Juma for 10,000. You for a train your mom Juma. To be chubasika wom. Ube to diesel. Ube maintain equipment. Ube bibia. And then, ya 1.6 billion. It is almost yes, reshape you 2 times in a year. 1.6 times 2. Meanwhile, you so drip now. You are talking about 800 million. Now, so drip no ye mansini be juma. Ye de greda no koi. Ye de sikaka hua ukwaku tuanwea. Eti pilo da kan. Ye de ariabo. De di roller no. Eka ho. Ye the tipper track eka ho. And ye the water tanker eka ho. And ye the even concrete mixer. So person use small drills are. It's a complete set of construction equipment for each district. Sikata ho. Into juma bia ni wa obema contractor na counting for drip enye. The idea was one, to reduce the cost of awarding feeder road contracts to Amanfo. And number 2, to make sure say answer na central government beko akwa kase okoye quota okrubi so no na kwan ye mo trouble la se be o metimi akwa aba because ye nkro nkuma mu kwa bi o ha se be yare for the nisi so de kwa ya so bia obewu ansa na waduro.
Yes,
that was going to be a thing of the past. Never again. DRIP will maintain all community roads. Kopim say central government so nyan wo de contract kra enye bad. These 2 most important things, and then they defeated. Okwa drip, se nyo obi na de kwa kodwa ne mpena bi afom kwan a obi de koma ha na se kwa de me fiche nkranza assembly no pass resolution say omo de drip equipment eba be ma high. Yes, ema me kasa radio so say eye nyina ye dia wa wo be hu se wo mantamu omo de ama obi an take action munko citizens and francosi. That is what a particular assembly did. And then a common site, drip machines, and Galamsey site. Now, I make us a for almost about 4 months ago, now me file a question of parliament. So me perceive me who the state of drip no. Because one, in fuele enye juma ne go, but abai enye sikama contract anka drip obeye. The drip no be no 20,000 Canada no. It be about 1.2 million, 1.5 million. Question is the 2 months. Afei minister no buy ya obey man no. Minister obey ma there. Me am Madam Mohammed.
Yeah.
For the first time, the minister drip and share local government as be.
And this ya buying pa and where you drip na free.
I'm telling you.
I question him.
Where your parliamentary hands are do quite wom. Me say me baby say come dey buy. Minister no sorry, you know, for the first time in my life, I had a shock of my life. Said drip ye free ministry without national mention. Nobody knows. It's your ban. Oh, drip no let me say the road ministry I say. Na say road management fund for na to fold the boom. And I'm say how? Luckily na road minister net in change. And I'm say okay by way of comment. Oba say oba comment on my question nanka we here no de ntia aba be na say na de na ekoso. No say there be just me the fresh question about. To me file a fresh question directed now at road minister. Meaning I know the 2-3 weeks. Question it by question me matra me see em Fankoma road minister no by magic na question na kopie works and housing minister na works and housing there no of
rules yeah
enti me wa o me da ba say me question na say na one free works and housing minister to one me so na me say me withdraw question no me misakra konya ho na ese eko is meant for roads and I insist to say o me the minister na manaba onua after 1 week na common fund administrator here I am saying about parliament say oba be what we call the formula for DACF afibia ye formula on begina so no machiska no na o mehwe se o mode bibi be shame for drip na me say na dia every local government by extension DACF enimose na call road sector by so twema road management fund and a pesca to fuel
can't issue assembly common fund
then I feel they pay back to DACF and to this. Naturally, I say, Bobby, your Bokaha, Nabaha. But the whole idea was not to answer my question.
So as of now, we more answer question.
There's been nothing. In fact, I never got the opportunity.
But once I'm raising you.
Well, no, sir. Maybe sir, a question on Women's Development Bank. The bomb was money. 14 July 2025. And when I'm in Akwanya no krana me here finance minister. Obaye no na ye the deputy. The vakache me so question no ya to na mo ya na makakra. But next month minister no be mid-year budget. Into obama updates on our Women Development Bank. Mentimi am tanko so me say me follow up question because o say me nyame na me ka me boss never. Me boss so be next month. It's some kind of a debut question cry a baby name appeal and a yano. That's a who bit me file a question because I could follow a Bible. Who the minister, you file a question as a 2 months come by a close him. And they are lazy, they don't come to parliament and they don't do this. And then 1 year, they say me filing on the 14th of July 2025. And Minister Nama, Minister Kwa, Minister Baha. Enti drip situation and yet drip I did Ghana Sika $178 million. It's being left to rot. In fact, the various agreement for servicing it in Niho. And now drip omudinam individual private shops. I want to mean guarantee efficiency. Drip is supposed to be under warranty. Warranty don't say ubetim de koma ubia kekam na service. Yes, you break the warranty. Now the servicing regime I do to not the supplier no. I was say or maintain be no mobile maintenance vans. Into regime bia video de buy no. Wo mobile servicing vans you are utua say bunu Easter ubeko district bia na wakwa servicing on schedule empa ho time nya so ya na wakọ service na wakọ otuka na bibia gum tools ne bibia ene collapse umutu a no makọ akọpẹ wayside mechanic no service. How can you do that when the equipment are under warranty? I can say with all certainty say ene warranty is broken and it is not being made to function and it's either packed it be not look ukọ because Kwame dance so sene area 3 months ago, when you remember, Ubi Fee nim Choba be one chain. It you would draw that at the end now. We na great labor Akusiho, and I would do that the time or two. I know what you are day if you didn't see what do so. Come on, I'm telling you, maybe I can't the parliament in the budget statement. We already me commenting. We can say this is the state of drip. If I don't can inform me, and ma me raise I 2 budgets. All of them drip was conspicuously missing. No mention of drip. 2 successive budgets. Not a line mention of drip. Drip does not exist in their program. They don't want to see it. It's been left to its fate. It's being left to rot. It's being used for all kinds of unauthorized activities. And it finds its way in all kinds of areas. Eti na saying galam say for koche equipment be na drip Bawku account. Eti a very sad state. Most MPs say who are kakra Now why they were fully. Uba me constituency. Nyame adom me wo payloader. Na me wo grader.
Wow, personally no
MPS. Me wo me dey makwan. Now, na saying na pressure buy obia person obey no kwan. Ti me try letter the mama assembly no. Say me me fidie na ye adwuma. Me nam krobi e frɛ no Anankanzo. Na mum other communities in say say ekoyo mo dey na and them release drip no. So they did well. I mean, they responded and said, why not? To me, the mommy. And I'm na me so me dey na me fa. But me na me fuel because the assembly didn't have money to fuel it. It's individual MPs obetumi no one there. No ato fund go dey go. That's what the age. But that's not how drip is supposed to function.
State drip machines, you woman, as former local government minister, are you sad?
I'm disturbed. Not just that, I'm disturbed. It is bad for this country. It is something people must answer questions about it tomorrow. I have Agyapong. So Agyapong, my name Roti Esaya. You have to answer. Assemblies that are passing resolutions to go and rent it out. It's against the operational guidelines I set here. There is a regime governing this whole drip arrangement. Ochinabi, a lot of people are using drip for Nema Baby, and we are keeping records. Tomorrow, people will sing to the tune. People are actually removing parts on machines, removing machines to do all kinds of things. They say, Ochinabi, Abaya, or you're concerned about drip, will ask questions about it.
One year disappointed in Ahmed Ibrahim, local government minister, knowing very well, baby, of free banda.
Well,
Juma Sampa, Juma or Techima.
I'm disappointed in him because honestly, a year from what they are called road ministry.
But a man to me and Chireni DNTR.
There be,
and I know so I'm permisa.
And I know the 2 minutes if I quite. Sir, when Chantro on in Parliament is a house of records. Ultimately, John can say they're moving the core of the Antisa. So he said it. I mean, it's on the handfacts in the records. So he can't be lying. But the question is, what the call road crank can find? For me, in the here, say put it to the use that you need. Unfortunately, I have watched it. Share yet to come and maybe in your man yet. Yakofa equipment about 10,000 jobs at a go.
Drip machines can be created
10,000 jobs.
Wow.
10,000 youth, Ghanaian youth, were actually recruited, trained, and handed over the equipment to in each district. 10,000 jobs were initially, youth were initially recruited for that. It in Ghana, unemployment is so high against me. Can you provide 10,000 age? Unfortunately, this is where we are. When you are to discuss drip, it's a very sad story. And it shows how reckless and unconcerned we can be as a country. And we are mindless, okay, in such an important state initiative. There is no government in history what taught this full complement of equipment. I remember in the NDC, somewhere in 2009, thereabout, or is it 10, they procured some number of equipment, just about 48 from Europe. Where there, you taught a collection of 2,142 equipment. Now, see the story about it. Oral, hey, gigi, ye framan for ye investigation. But investigation now say, let's make sure it's put to good use. They only call people for come and answer questions about drip. But as to making sure
people, invite you.
Oh, me no mo kodin komo, no mpeso mu hunde akoso. Me me komi tam say na hwan ye kotono, na me say nyam to ye. Drip ye tono wo. Ombe say Ministry of Local Government for koto drip machine. Na me say what kind of contract no? Mo local government oh. Office of the President any DACF no koto. Eti dey na ma frame ha. Oh, na unya information, na me say na ma information na o ni information ka frame me. I'm sorry, come baby. But I thought, say, that amount of interest in that woman, okay, I should ensure that it should be put to good use today.
Yeah.
And I could be much.
Right, maybe Chafin was joining here now. Honorable Martin Kwekwe James Akosa, MP for Techiman South, ranking member, Works and Housing, former Minister for Local Government. Ona Yeneno A Dim Common Ha Asasipa 107.3, Assassin 88.5, Ewukumasi Assassin 103 wo Cape Coast, Mining City Radio 89.5 for Takwan Suayim, Afima Radio 103.3 wo Kufudia Strong, 101.5 Achimda, Community 103.3, Achimda, Yankee FM was Sampa Bawa Radio UK ehonyina oti enka quickly ma yending komo still ewo nkrase amamu ade bi ehia yi pa local government minister Bawku say NDC aban MMDCs no omo homoden bi mo number me ba cho why local government minister pen e den e be ma ye MMDCs no atimi aye adwuma
MMDCs
amedi be him say the Bawku because maybe more number, maybe nyadi.
Unya, NPP time. Yeah, they're high teach you. They say, "Nay, war, yeah, governance problems with resourcing assemblies adequately." The reason being that I have Timmy Pana very tricky.
Yeah,
and yes, I could for buying one mercy can't assemblies and yes, sanity. But Sikano. Now, a two-pronged approach. Dudona na ya centralizing the procurement of many things at the top. Na ako ye ministry yen spend this sika.
Me ba to brebiu kakrama me now.
The mechanism unza na NDC for buy.
Am so mkukuru sika kese ye pa na mo so still adwan koso.
Adwan koso. But the difference between Omoni and Akufo-Addo there is two reasons. A lot of investment at the Akufo-Addo. No more channel through special development initiatives. You'll be a friend IPEP. Near war $1 million one constituency. There were a number of projects. In fact, Oba Ministry of Trade, no more district-led projects. Oba Ministry of Agric, no more. In this kind of assembly, no. NPP there, you different institutions, about 7. Now, Obia ye juma die wo mensini ho. It is a second, the boom, near Pam 6 and some of your uncle, Yama DSC assembly, no. Yeah, Yanasa, assembly ni yebi. And now, Ubenya IPEP. Ubenya $1 million, one constituency. Ubenya Ministry of Agric. Ubenya Ministry of Trade. Ubia yebi ho. It will be a very local economic development. Into the national actors, no. Yas resourcema, Ubia Ministry, kwe bibi kakra ho. We do mo nyanasa. It is not much letter the moment MMDCs. In Yuma, a course under IPEP. IPEP and NPP for school dying clinics near there. More heritage in Sikana de Abraham, my mom for said also. You'll be a legacy debt.
Yes.
More fair no be in the inchia, sa dino mujay. This is a letter that went. Do munchia. It's the difference in is no decentralizing through many institutions. Almost no matter any one, but yet a no cost. Part of your problem is you over centralize procurement elsewhere. I do be a master na bufu. Never be pan be what district. Once you see a ton of Canada. But all that said, no. Say upa said this year for your juma. Maybe be did Dambucha there. Dambucha introduced a very fantastic. A year platform there. Yeah, they track performance in each district. Until every chief executive, every quarter, every 3 months, I will say, "Oh, assessing the bow."
Yeah.
The woman is an only lazy now. Bring quadia. You can monitor every district. You made their echoes, and I saw more feedback from Niama a year critical district. Wow, here national attention. It is a buying person coordinating Niama. Utim the Minister for Finance, Charlie Pesca, Kotechimai. Yes, who more dream you are Yanko ya, a dying a bugu. I say how we were. Until from that tracking platform, the very national dashboard, Utimi de Ubia A. This is for the Ujana. Now to be out and crying. And as a man, no one. On the weekend, you are no bunicum. So, fool.
Yes.
I'll copy a biaco. Okojineni. And it just what you say. And it just what you say. You be a young cavra. So one money and come on. Umbe ne matroka. Titru says we do sika bom some. Hu kra. Yet the idea we need to make regrets for some of the extreme mistakes that we did. Because how would you want to centralize your spending, your expenditure at the center when the local is there? Under the next NPP government, under Bawumia, we will not just say, but the cogent arrangement, you can practically test and see, say, what set of priorities and what funding to back it. We needs assessment survey. So district be pay marketer, unkunkusi library, and then you see 24-hour market. Baby, a market one. Near could drag sense market. They build markets within markets. Maybe constituency BSc. Now no what? There is a school now BSc wa. Me I mean your local government is a said that way. Ya tise musi be bu near 24-hour market. Ye mu. President Mahama so koka say ye mu. It depend on you know near could drini nyina egu fom. Ye drini nyina egu fom. And I'm told that is the only school in that locality. You be see 24-hour market. And it's going on almost places.
What's it Techiman? Yeah, boom market.
Techiman market, one station. Yeah, was Sika, me say warehouses are buying through support from donor partners.
Yes.
You be see giant warehouses. And to come is a 24-hour market. Near recent Techiman Sas doso. Umbeko a new location. Nanka, work of pay a nice no one build area, no one build it from the scratch. What do you say there be? You two the phone from here,
right. Now we MP, ma this year what Techiman South. And the NT made Techiman market example, and they say, who pay marketer at Chepa or my gun and moi, or Bawku Munumiansa, Techiman Dra, Beba, dear son, Techiman Dra, Beba, the Nipacum, Techiman Dra, Beba. Techiman here, new marketer na.
That be Techiman, they see. Nana Belejo market. I could for the sea. But make us a mincho. Obeka Yura Mahama Kodoma. Eko bo Aja. Inti Doma Hinin Natrankunya. And I know what catch them say about the 24-hour market. Because auto response and another man or your mama. Or say, Mr. President, yet there was a pa so what dream market dear. Why was sure you need Fasuha? Ebina way. You're a kufado, any simai. Then mum. Ayansa bia na how senka utimi di sika obe market ewie agenda 111 mayanka beboy. The man said it out of a reason. Minya the same thing. Techima your priority pa ne enye wa station there baby ya tile ya total very saying pavement blocks.
Yeah.
And you virtually new. You were old marketer make us say u free Sunyai station now the coach but where there baby ni party a walk kama ya to pavement ye di dwa ye walk giant warehouses and ka the moon design market ni say ebe include warehouse we go see market over here storage where there module warehouses ni nyina go from ese makoma be 6 ni nyina ko from ye kan ebe kan nyina depend. I think that to get assemblies to work on there, they have to devise a way of monitoring and tracking them. You must task them duties, and then you must make sure that they are answerable to you by way of monitoring. It was very good your time, Unfortunately, we didn't have enough time to do most of the emerging issues that came there, but there's a lot to be learnt around local governance, which I think if you want to reform or review, you can apply tomorrow.
Common fan, district be a pepe na based on the Padudu what district in because ya be more cancer district be one IG or to me generate iska at the FN IGF no obi also there bibia ni district mu a obenye scare free mu.
And okay, unza IGF no. District be our potential so be generate iska. Fan say Ayawaso West. The most elite municipality obechili in Ghana nyuma kese airport hwan ni nyina sisi ho nti omukolom ko gi property rate obegia chi techimai sana techimai asusu ekwa ko gi property rate
obegia chi
wanchi nti edidibie chi in terms of IGF na IGF ni omankasa omusika omu generate through sana manema no omode aiden omode aba but we yes so we yes wo fund in terms of IGF in India. New Biana that endowed. Most of them are less endowed. When I say less endowed, they don't have the potential to attract a friend is saying much revenue. But so we share apart from common fund na konoswa. Na on shebia and also so yete yene Australia and I think Switzerland are buying and the nyan shisha on kitamundi say omonu ni baby a friend counterpart funding.
Okay.
And the total common fund no say it shouldn't be less than 5%. And he say in yabe say 1 million near the kwa 1 million near ko chamu munyina. It in that sharing no near 10%, which is via 10,000. And I say sorry 100,000. The 100,000 no near the aye counterpart funding against the foreign donors society at the beba. And on the yababa assessment. Your assessment now man's now born homoding. You were various indicators are assess more. Into what born homoding. And the indigenous chess as additional fund beba. Into Saka or common fund in the year. There were other interventions even in the making.
Okay.
You know the oba homo there. You score more. Wow benya one. Wow berry. Into the onya high and benya che wow re. Not just say and so my competition ba. We be try say obey bibina what we attracted that.
PURC for Babontain the Abetuja say effective July 1. Nyame aduman kan ya bo ne kosoro by 3.49% and so bo kosoro by 0.85%. I concern Mamodum Kuma.
So the Kabomo, I don't have my figures here, but I stand to be corrected. In terms of electricity.
We don't know what I remember of a microphone.
In terms of electricity, yeah, to over 36% or so. Issue overall, I buy. Issue I think it's over 24 or so. I stand to be correct. I don't have my figures here. What it means is that cost of electricity and water today under Mahama is far more higher and expensive than it was under Kufuor. This is against a period where we are supposed to be resetting. Meanwhile, resetting, I did about Papa Baye, so called. Nina say, my hoto and ne, than sending our befa. Rightly so. Also, Krausi and more some money. It's as a buyer, a titin near muscle. And I metia make a say, I be defer war Makola. Baku a friend of Cosejaso. We didn't Cosejaso.
Jabi.
Oh, Cosejaso, they were a mountain cry. They were.
I was a madame.
Open one sem. Nadibu, a day did the one was a ECG. Accra ECG. Kimbu.
Aquamanimo.
ECG opposite. Oh, market. If I know Cosejaso. Canada never
show him one about Kukurio.
See, Canada never bought for pa. Never so and there be Biasai. I'm going to say, yeah. And for me, na Ghana ni no pay. A sitting up a hoto, a mere momre, and then Ghana for 80 me. They say, she was sitting him, they didn't want to say. She was sitting him, they didn't want to say. Say, and no tea, would not be boom what thing. So, one tea,
wow, soon,
and then the obedi a buying you do me didn't want to say, Cassiamau, a NDC. To fear NDC, now be son say, Massa. Never cause it was a crack in me. Yeah, and before they said they die, nay away at night. Minya, President Mahama, yes, sir, no. I was set to show empathy. Now, when you did, I think I say, a more thing, any number. Say, no, before I could find any pabonne for it's more thing. And now, Okofa ahochiri betu Ghana for so and then he's vindicated. And you know, whatever it is, no, the fact remains a year worse than the NPP left off. And then we only get food in one say another breno. 7 years to the crack chenne. Can any husika? Say near one hochiri mu na ano nya hye ne. Say na na breno ya hochiri a and the ye wukra. That for me is the situation. Eti bibia ye basa. Would you ever would have thought say universities you bet tutu adaya ketuam
no what's the office
Collegon the amount of supporter emranti edibo se hwidi abanyechi yeah sebi yi adesua kese a na wo mabuna omuko teacher training and now say nursing training I introduce allowance ekwan bi so no mu dan sorry ti aye hoping for a better time than it was under Akufo-Addo. And they have never ceased cursing this government day after day. And for me, niema bia da ho. Kakra ka nyira ye ni. Na me kana me jahwan koko okani. In fact, omumpo their testimonies are worse. Sabe, ujina simple so. The ono twa oka be 31 million o real or konfu ese koma be 60 ti se me ba se scan me de be ma we direct nye say ye bunkunta bi na suggest direct now buy ya the 31 no ko ma ne sanye den se me hwan e dey about 25. I mean, what kind of is that? But ni nyina mu no ensi a nka nipa bi hu sunsun ya
wo NPP in the symptom
and then no so o ka enta me catch NPP for say the two ye bia ye fast na manyame amane sa bia nka bibia nyeye but your best chances of winning power today is better than it was in 2024 because we have been vindicated by the situations after that and then no say what transna osisia the happiness of today vindicates the NPP. Emma Sabi say me see me could just simply so a campaigner.
Very nimbio.
That be and I'm a story no. It will be better be told by the happiness of today.
Right, you already part in commerce here, but last one, Sadina Tamaklu. Waba. A man for Abai this Waba.
Yes, Waba.
A man for raising concerns be say omo peso omo prison baby e de na koto. I know you are here. Yes, a Ghana fool who say what dance a woman what the ha na.
When you are now Chroma 1 year jailina. Ye nim baby oda. Wo de abakosemu hwan na ye de na court na ya jailino na newspapers reklampo so mo report to a ana se media omunka so osumasi okofa obi koko ana so kwachi obi akoko court ya jailini say am de ko ha. It's always public knowledge. Me no mintimi ntra nka se ye mfa ne nkoto jail ena mintimi so nka se ye de na ko jail. But there's a certain attempt to keep it in secrecy. It's shrouded in secrecy. That smacks of some dishonesty. Okay? If you feel, say, I'm pa or the fiasia, it should not be too difficult to know. Look, me know what I say. At the prison, you go. And can somebody somewhere would even give an indication?
See, the man number one, so
I'm telling you, it does government no good, given the way it's going. Already, Abai Eya gaining notoriety be say, you want to selectively apply justice. O per se, o draw a line be. Now what they attempt wo efaso. Na lead to attentia. Yet kroma, and then ye party mo. Ye will nipa be omomso me Ghana for. No mujina emrano na ye chumaso. Na ye jai binum enra for the same offense for which people are being tried today.
Because of NDC for
the same offense. You see, Abai Depot Techino, and not the people bar. So be a bonia. Me kase me yemfa ne nko. But when you do that situation said by some
selective justice now,
some magic, all of a sudden the prosecutorial authority happen not to be any more interested in Mr. A. But that prosecutorial authority, no, when Jane Juma was sorry in the case of Mr. B. And I think, sir, you create a certain impression. So we share said the name there. It is a very awesome case. In fact, government it serves its own interest. In any case, Marco Faria appeal, sir, on the 30th of July.
Yes.
So what is the problem? And then I'm going to say, some of us are more in nephews. Oh, man, Modia. Me look, and then man, Mofa, Modia. Many I may say, and Negana, a Yomodia, Kusi. Yenamubio, Yenamukeke. All the structures of state is under them. Don't pay no more. It's yet, you can't say, a competition, some mameno, Uncle Delphia Socra, make a committee, and to me pias. And come me cry. But ultimately, they are.
But a send wrong signal.
A very bad signal. But we have to live with it.
Yediba. Sir, next year, June, July, Obekin can some. As some Obekans to the Obekan say be good party, saying good party. But Utian in some dia, and somewhere between her NPP as a political party. What the party nachi ache and the word dom so a mo show said that on baby to so or Kennedy baby would drown so what dom. And I'm on to a Kennedy or Agyapong, who to a party in the metro say.
Oh, Minya, you see, for me, I don't even know where to start from. But life is about choices. So, Minya, Mimiti. Nso yesi yai esimanim metuma catcher branch your tears o patcho fancy ma me why me kan saria also team say hey farmer me these two no ni nyina ne se fabra but they come differently. I can use coercion to pick it and I make my an appeal
or in a command form.
It will be our kind of faswa or see first person communicate. I think that I totally disagree with Ken. Ken me why madam for Ken me kai me Anthony Cabo as a Kesiama yane Ken. Now your baby those days your cocody rice and seafood. It's like over me more bedino. And I disagree with Ken at times, in the past, because maybe no be a good dinner time radio. So make a member tea and I'm a wolf. Send Nipano, typical continental radios, no cancer. Ubi an be a Ken crab branch. But when Ken was called on radio, now but Chenu here, I was a Utimi canning some. But a buffon D kind. The next thing now, the voice now is sound bites, and then any baby a day, ebo. But I was angry more than him about the comments now the pandemic here. It never was in Kobe Tunable. No what church in Simu. God the way we cry now best enough no. Not the attempt na day.
At was.
But umobin te wasem. For me, it's a problem. But at this stage be a brand to be better no kasa. I was like, hey, na Ken and that day or didn't hold drew stage way. Because I at least expected saying Ken would be a 1 year party where Juma would dear chile or didn't sika now who day. The way I believe in the NPP. That's how Ken believes in the NPP. I'll at least expect saying can nipa be sorry party suma buruka be sorry cancel. In fact, then I'm a committee nibi.
Oh now Elisa Hotel.
Yes, I was there. We don't have to be a Bawku Jai. But because the Magyar must say more year demonstration. And I think whilst we were in, no, and some of these images came out. Unfortunately, maybe no more anymore. No, maybe PSR or Parliament could be a question to the local government minister. It will be for a back door. But one can never imagine, say, there was ever going to be a timer party for who loved Ken so much would turn up and then party no move for papa. A buffet what party know about Ken. It Ken has to watch something. Me utene kasana. Osi mi ni mochi. So it may even mean to be on one kasana. Otu no hofu. Yes, it may be. But say odasu oma. Se ken tiemia. He has to revise his notes. I tell the NPP loves him, the NPP likes him as a member. But when never be a say you show tap on Chenia, Ojo, a 2 step yatra, and now you think I say, we are passionately in search of power. Nobody crosses us. If you cross us, we double cross you. Some NPP before no, you had the nakoye. It is all called that way now. All of these things will happen. I feel so hurt, say things will degenerate to this level. But he should make an introspection. If he really wants to be in the NPP, this style is a not. The party appears no longer tolerant of this, strategy, this attitude. So he has to look at it. In any case, Masa, Edian NPP, a secret, what is it? The party we all my adult life, I've been in it. We have no secrets. The NPP has no secrets. What is it? We have our opponents. A worse than the NDC for a catch. I will be him. I think, sir, Ken is a member of our party, so cherished. Because party they do on a yes. But say do by Bina say, Oma party say they have to part ways with you, they cannot continue with you, or they have to take certain steps against you. I know in this of given his standing, Ubia, what to Franca, Capes Okita, what to Franca, Diama, Obesenka to your Franca. You cannot be referred to a disciplinary committee. And then I felt sad. But Tiwana petitions Abba, now you refer to disciplinary committee, not can the account. I was like, Charlie, it's not right. This is somebody who could have easily borne our flag in our name. You can't, somebody who wanted to hold our spirit, the spirit of our party. You can't get referred to this. That in itself is so demeaning. I think that he has to revise notes.
The way I know on will be personal issues, and from what you said, who analyze it, and your partner in our phone and say, one individuals, we know personal.
I know the meaning to be I'll be a hypocrite to attempt to answer that. But it's a style Ken has been used to. But it come our knowledge be the chassis. So we share the command and the appeal. Me say me James here, I may go in a certain tone. He may go another one. That Ken seems to have a certain style of approaching issues. In the past, people have just made a slide. It looks like now the party says no.
And to whom is a party leadership this time around as almost stampy authority, because Article 3 of the NPP
I think they have even stood their grounds. So I was sharing the fact that they've referred him. Master, second, this post train, and then the first day. When have you ever seen someone referring to committee? In time because I was sad. I was like, oh Charlie, Obianka Opeso Kita ye Franca now being referred to a disciplinary committee. That's your name and I think so far.
Sanya wo kasa open asem no. We actually near kasa there be yenya no kwan na wo nkwa be oya.
Na pastor politics the numbers na here, but this all you na say e be say what dey bia. For the party to get to that point, that means they can't take it anymore. He has a day with the disciplinary committee. He may choose to go or not to go. Maybe I can say, Menko.
That's just no one in Wadi.
Ebiso because of Meko. Giving the Okana and we say, maybe Dimochibium. Well, it looks like, but why not? Ebiso Bekono Kochenin Semu. I've heard the spokesperson. Oka say, only a chibium na, all of that. But once the spokesperson also, Ebe Kasaya, try to water down. So that means that he may want to go. If he decides to go, it's an indication that he still wants to be in the party. If he chooses not to go, that means that he's not even interested. There is still a lot going to happen after Sir Referral Yakosi. Or one, how he defends himself, he defends the statement of making, and he can choose also not to even appear. Or he can choose, that also means that, maybe I'm not still. ɔne party ne party but me de meka nya ne say ɔnhwɛ na akoma ne de masa obɛmɔ no hu you need to be able to train yourself. I mean obi anywhere is done the best out of anger. You can never do the best out of anger. And Ken should know that he belongs to a political party with other individuals. It cannot be that everybody is wrong all the time and only you are right. There is nobody who can advise Ken. He has to do a self-introspection. And once he does that, I think he will also begin to make amends. But the rest of it, okay. You don't want to prejudice it. But if he's listening to me, I think he has to come down.
Is MPP on course to recapture power in 2028? After polling station elections, electoral area elections, now you call constituency, now you call regional, now for Aban national.
I think the party has done well in record time. A party with the devastating defeat, that situation in itself, you don't rise out too quickly. The NPP has recovered very, very fast. To the extent that these levels of elections, now you a flag bearer. You have a clear direction.
And then I'm a NPP team sorry in terms of because we are party we will lose elections we are seriously because I'm required die and
NPP a resilient minimum American resilience is a resilient party. Standing the test of time. And now you cross okay party ne fapem no ejinayi. That is why we are what we are. No defeat can break this party. From nowhere, party will rise here to fight or compete with Jerry Rawlings. Emrana Edding, you dare not even organize or mobilize. Party with me picking aspirations. And now you're sorry, here. Now we moved with what we believed in. And now you timidly on City Rawlings G to me. It's come far. The party has come far. In fact, everything that is a shock politically, NPP are for. In terms of members resigning, members being sacked. Look, I don't want to go through the history. NPP has standing the strongest test of time. For me, the resilience is one. You cry, you mood. And for me, quite refreshing say with that short space of time now you all these levels of elections the NDC must be worried because they may have imagined say giving share 2 year crime after the election okay your party you're going to cry but the arrogant ones the arrogant ones they commonly use that phrase party in there go. Okay,
yes.
Yeah, it's already. A bit forms a rapture. A bit forms a rapture. Until there, what I was saying is that you keep your focus. Now, you can't deny Bawumia. Bawumia has become unstoppable. Now, it's only the Ghanaian. Say, NDC will stop Bawumia, no. Is it a shepherd Ghana for us? Deɛ ɛkɔ so amamuo mu nsɛm edu baabi menua yɛ ho bɛyɛ ahi nokro wa woka Ghana yɛ democracy ɛyɛ akwese edi no mfie wɔtwe enti mmerɛ bi bedu ya yɛ mfie wɔtwe du yɛ no na nipa bi fo sɛ yɛ bra na aso sɛ bi yɛ ho afono enti woka asɛm kraa na sɛ bi ho yɛ hi nema bebre Ghana fan tiase ema nema chiae enne bebe ko wie no ansi yen NPP yi ansi Ghana fo yi se wo hwe babia nema nam oman mu a depending on babia nipa ne gina so ne kasa obetwe so bibia ye kama French everything is rosy but if you are a true Ghanaian looking at sana nema si kwa you will know say ankoyi enti no Ghana for sign form ntoma mo NPP ano na sabi yesi Kwasiana onye den.
On Sanananti. On Sanananti.
I think say and that's what share baby ya. We are the best pair of hands e bet make it on my way. You consider say never touch ma ewe ya mamu ho. You consider say never be owa maybe you could have done it differently. Unfortunately, Fufi and Twata, but thereby there's every indication that Ghana for my year twice. Young Fum Subia Nayano would have done better than where we stopped. Would there mean ya among Fufu by a dear pan monumental and yes significant? What is it? You see, the much acclaimed reset, a dear see ya you who be. There's nothing. In fact, you retrogress because near man go come and be me a queer nimno. And in Nina. So we share a my facet we share cocoa for. So we share infrastructure. I did be a nanky a queer name. You back several steps.
Right. Type and kind of leaders being NPP here, Samri.
Baumia now can answer that.
Baumia the call. Back constituency, regional, national.
Oh, as for, I mean, you need party people who have a good understanding of idea or mope. You see, your party will be better me cooperate to me. So what hey? Yeah, canena ke election. Ye police station for. You hear the move team. And then I'm very assessor. It be who's adding the biache. Yentanye. Me constituency me yes adding. Now uyi nipa. Udi kaman entity a children on the juma. You obey. So utie ye na se unya die. Unim ni way dada eboao. Let us say your foul, say we minister. You need time to sit or settle. Ubibeka. Ubi so tenki unya yeah. Ono save you a lot of time and does things faster. I think that you were blessed with various levels of nipa. Omu nim die, oma fama, oma kekano. The party ni jina yi. The party for no, they also don't make a mistake. They have a way of testing and knowing what they want. NPP for delegates in Kophobia, they are very wise, very sophisticated. They can never get it wrong. Where you think they don't know, they will surprise you. And they've always made the best decisions for this party. And I have a lot of confidence. Say, they give us the right leaders. Now, yet to me, I Dr. Baumia, because now 2024, no, you were a very good candidate. Unfortunately, you need a strong party to sell that candidate. And then Yankopo on Chade, you could organization now, yeah, no, Yamin Chade, near 2 hurdles to get a competent leader capable of securing its victory. Now, so to build a strong party to push that competent leader. Yakopo Nchade, am I the first one, which is the competent, credible, winnable candidate? I think that the next stage of it is how we get a